Okay, so let's look at the next part of the model, which after we have all of the uh, plant characteristics and some data on the yield. Let's start putting in the capital expenditures, uh, expenditures, and then we'll put in the operating expenses, and then we'll put in some revenues. And we can even put in, let's put some working capital assumptions. Okay, now uh, here's what I want to say about this one first. Heidi, oh, she's awesome. She comments sometimes on my videos and says, you gotta make them, try to do something to make financial modeling seem more interesting. Now, here's, you know, if you if we want to really look at, for me, but and I'm sure most of you have seen this, the most significant graph or whoops in the whole industry is you can find this on the website or something. I think a couple of these, I just love these. You can go to the I don't know, Google and find these, but this is in cents, euro cents per megawatt hour, 450, which is something like what I don't know how many dollars that would be, 500, $600 per megawatt hour they paid for the feed-in tariff, and they got the industry started, and they pulled it all the way down to 9 cents, and now you hear projects that have 5 cents per kilowatt hour. There's another graph, and here's this wonderful thing where it just shaves off the peaks, which is exactly what you want to do if you criticize, this for this. So, yeah, this policy. I just want to talk about government policy in Germany. This government policy. There are very few examples of true success, but the point is that the first of a kind, getting an industry developed, is a public good. Markets can't really do that themselves because the first one will always lose. So you have to give them a contract, you have to let them make a profit to get the market to develop and then to get the scales and everything else. And I'm sure skeptics at the time said this was an idiotic government intervention and everything else, but it really worked, I think. So we'll talk about these capital expenditures. A few years ago it would have been so high. Well, I'm going to put these in dollars per. I know in the industry people use dollars per watt. I'm going to put it in. So let's put it in. Let's first put the panel cost. And then we have the inverter cost. And then we have other costs. Now, to get the panel cost, I'm going to put this in USD per kilowatt, and let's put about 600. Now, if you want to get this, here's what I did on this one. Okay, if you go to chapter number 1 and then go to data retrieval, somewhere I say I have something called read PV insights. Now, you're going to be lucky here. I'm not going to waste your time with 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 downloading these things. Okay, showing you how to download. Here's a polysilicon cost curve. Fascinating. It's an interesting whole business. Here's the polysilicon price, which went up to 200, and then the thin film manufacturers just assumed that this was the stable kind of price, and they could always have a cost advantage. Of course, it was just a price spike, as we see. But the nice thing about this is that, oops, it looks like I have a problem here. But you can, I made a little macro, and all the macro does is it goes to the website for PV Insights and just downloads it and then throws it in a file with today's date on it. Okay, it just gets this down. Sorry, I had to pause it because my computer's going so slowly just because I have a bunch of things open. So here's the current polysilicon price. It was nothing like this. 138. Right now it's down to about low of 15, average of about 16. Okay. Uh, Perhaps I should have made a 2014 and 15. So let's put what's the current price here? 15.5. Is that 15.58? Looks to me. Okay. Okay, and okay, and let's press alternate F1. That obviously. What happened here? Okay, alternate F1 and oh, okay. Okay, so that's kind of a little pattern of there, but the real thing we wanted was to get the down here to get the solar price. And interesting, the polysilicon price is about 55 cents a watt. The thin film is actually a little bit higher right now on average. Okay, and here's the range. So it's the fact that this has become a commodity is just remarkable to me. If we wanted to find this number, we'd let's put a sheet name. This is I guess just press something here. This is a sheet name, and then we can match the low, high, and average. Uh-oh, this is look at these. They seem to be coming down even a little bit. Did I? This is 2015 6. This is the one. And I wanted 55 as the average. Okay. Well, I don't know. Just a minute. Let's look at this. I'm going to pause it for a minute. Okay, I didn't have the right thing here, so remember this should be, we can put the, oops, how about single quote and then an and sign. We go to our thing and press the F4 key until we get this and another and sign and a single quote and this one, and then we can close the quote. And we need to, of course, up here put indirect. Okay. No. And we need the indirect to end here. Oops. G. This is kind of not very good, but we could, you don't mind, I hope. So that's the low and then the high. G, A, average rather. I, colon, I. Okay, and the thin film, we can do the same thing now, I hope. Oops. And we just need to move this over. Okay, and like we can, whoops, G, okay, H. That's why I shouldn't have done it like this. And I. Okay, so that just shows you kind of how it's, I don't know if you'd quite call it a commodity, but it's certainly come down. So let's put the average here. And you know, the other thing that would be nice to get is they have the solar weekly price, and somewhere you're supposed to be able to get the inverter price, but of course you have to pay for that. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so you can go and get the prices and all of that. All right, enough of that. Okay, I'll save this. And for the, I think for the, so let's go back and put this in. Let's use the average price. So where's our, we're gonna, so let's put this as 550, and then let's put the inverter cost. And I think somebody said that this is about 180 these days. And then they said, well, the total other are about 60% of the total. Okay, so if we, I think what if we do if we sum these and then divide by 1 minus 0.6 and multiply that by, and then multiply that whole thing by by 0.4, no, by 0.6 rather, sorry. So let's see, so then we sum these. This is a little bit high. Let's just see, is this one 60% of the total? Did I do that right? Yeah. Let's do it a little more elegantly. How about this? We'll just type in 60%, and then we'll put 1 minus that, and then we'll multiply that by, I didn't mean to do that. Here, the other video just got finished. Okay. And this one, okay. Let's make that 50%. Let's make this. Just a minute. I'm going to check some other benchmarking thing. I've changed this now. We should be careful to put KWP here. I've seen some projects where the KW that's delivered is very different than the KWP, and you know, I'm gonna make it a little lower here. Let's move this here. Okay, so this is our total EPC cost. How's that? Okay, and then we'll have some and then let's put the megawatts. So the which are of course up here. Okay, so this is a little bit less. This 40% is a little bit less. I've heard it's about 60%, but whatever. Perhaps we could get it this way, and then we can put total. How about USD thousands? So we'll model it in thousands, okay? And shift control 1, and so now we can press alternate equal, and our total cost is 62 million or something like that. And then we can add some owner's costs. Okay, let's put development. How about we'll put development costs, development fee. Come on. And then finally the owner's cost. And I don't really know what this would be. Let's say this is 1.5 million. Let's say this is 10 million. Okay, we can move this around, and let's say this is 2 million. Okay, so this is the cost while it's being constructed or something like that. Okay, and the final thing we should put is some sort of S curve here, and we could get into a whole lot of different philosophies about the S curve. But let's put month. So let's go from month 1 to month. How about month 1 to month 12? Okay, and now here's the problem is we'll put the construction months here, and then we'll put. How about let's move this one over, and we have some construction months here of. We have construction months. Where are they? Come on, they're up here. And what we need to do is to make sure that let's just put a little thing here and Shift Control R. We need to make sure that we don't have anything after the construction is finished. So we have to make sure, I'm just putting it on manual as you can see, that we don't have anything here. Shift Control T, Shift Control F. Okay. And let's move this even one further out. Okay, so I think the S curve is always a real pain. The other philosophy to take is if we do get delayed, so if we could move the construction back one, or alternatively, we can just say, okay, well, you spent it all and then you just wait. That would be kind of a worst case. Now, I'm going to, okay, I hope I don't get interrupted here. So I put a Weeble function in here. This is the beta, no, alpha, I hope, and this is the beta. And if it's 11 months, this is the average. So the beta I just took is this times 0.089. I don't know why that's, whoops, that's 0.89. Okay, and then you put Weibel. Okay, and you put the month in, and you can put the alpha and the beta. Okay, you use this kind of for, and then you put comma 0 to make it sure it's not cumulative. Control R, and that happens now. Now we'll put normalized. How about we'll sum the, above, and just take this divided by the. Okay, Shift Control P, Shift Control R, and so that's our base sheet. Now the problem, oops, and I should have multiplied this by the true, so we're gonna have to compute this. Okay, so now we have nothing afterwards. Now let's say we change instead of 11 months, let's say we have 10 months. What we'd have to do is we have to make sure that our, and I want to put this in right next to it. How about we, let's move this down one. Okay. And let's put the last month in here, you know. Okay. So, oops. Let's move this down. Oh, sorry about that zipping noise. And then we put a... Okay. God, it's really hard. People don't understand the importance of these videos, you know, it's really important. Oops. Shift Control T, Shift Control F. So, oops, did I not press the F4? I did. Okay, why didn't we have a true in number 11? The only thing I can think is we didn't calculate the sheet. Okay, so now we can has with the cumulative. So let's take this one plus this one. Okay. Now, okay, and finally, I'm gonna insert another sheet, a line. So let's say we change our the way I have it now is I have the Weibull set to this. I think I'm gonna put this as a hard number, and this is gonna be our and so far everything would be okay. Shift Control R. Now let's assume that we have a shorter construction period. So let's say we have 8 months of the construction period. So what we want to do is make sure that now if we do this, when we get to 8 months, we need to for the very last period make an adjustment and put the whole additional 5% into the adjustment. So let's put adjusted. So if this is true, then we take the cumulative 1 minus the cumulative amount plus the normalized. Otherwise, we just take the normalized. Okay, and let's calculate the sheet. And we need to just know. So if we accumulated, it worked. But we just a second. How about this? Times this. No, let's do it with this one. Times this one is less than or equal to our final one. Okay, Shift Control R and calculate the sheet. So that was a real pain, and we can sum this to make absolutely sure it really works. Okay, so we have finally our adjusted S-curve. And then let's put the, how about let's move this a little bit lower. Okay. we'll put EPC cost. I'm just okay, and we can apply these this on a month-by-month basis to our others. The development costs, let's just put, this is, we don't really have the S-curve for this. We'll put that equal over the development period. And the development fee, let's assume that that occurs at the, let's assume that that occurs at the financial close. It might occur at a different time. Remember, this is this fee that's just a kind of an artificial one. And let's assume that the owner's cost, that's just an equal amount. Okay, so I didn't really put the assumptions very well in here, but I think that's enough. And then for the operating expenses, what we'll need is some inflation. And let's put period. Okay, and I don't know. Let's begin with you know, we're going to use our NA function here. So before the end of construction, we're just going to start with the end of construction. How about E date? This one, comma 3. Just making something up here. Okay, and we'll just put some different inflation rates, and I'm at 3 times 12, so every 3 years we kind of redo it. Okay, and we'll put annual inflation rates. So let's just say that this is 1%, 1.8%, 2%, and 2.5%. Perhaps that's, well, we could do all sorts of sensitivity. And then let's put the O&M fee that we get for the that we pay from the and let's put this in USD per KW per year. Okay, and okay, how about and then let's put this as 15. So that's going to inflate. Okay, and you know, there's been a debate about this one too, and how much, whether this includes the land costs, and we should really separate the insurance from the other O&M here, perhaps, but we'll leave that for now. Okay, Shift Control C to see what we've input directly. Okay, and now we finally have this. This is good. We don't have any other numbers here, so we can use the whole line here, and this is okay, because even though we have this 0, so we're going to need the construction month, and then we can put in the S-curve, and we can throw in all of our costs. So let's go to the operations now. There's one thing perhaps we should have done before this. I'm going to put the hours, and then let's put the capacity factor. Okay, so the hours are, this is just the minus this one. Now we have to add 1 because we subtracted 1 at the beginning. And I think we can, again, I've talked about this a couple of times, but we can safely assume that they're, oops, shoot. So we okay, and then so these and our capacity factor will be uh, the amount of hours we produce divided by this, and then we better take that whole thing and divide that by the plant capacity, and we better only do that. Let's just do that if J17. Okay, so that's just, a typical. So let's calculate the sheet. Okay, again, uh, it's going slowly here because I have the video thing on. So that's reasonable. We can see that we have different capacity factors in different months, and I guess the capacity factor is going down because of the degradation, which is fine. I guess we can measure it that way. So now let's put the capital expenditures, and why don't we put the three cost components in here? So let's put the panel cost. Okay, that, and then we can put the total, and then we can put the S curve, and then we can put the expenditures. And then above here, we can also put the construction period. And the reason we'll need the construction period is because we have this, and now we have this construction switch down here, and we can just accumulate that construction switch. So let's just put in our and let's put USD thousands. Okay, and just let's get the three all of our components here. Hopefully I didn't make some silly mistake. And this one we'll just press the F4 key a few times. Okay, it's kind of just repeating silly things. Shift Control R. We could have obviously done it differently. Now the construction period, that's a little more interesting. That's this one, plus let's go up to the construction switch and just add one for that. Shift Control R. And then I think let's calculate the sheet. So we'll have a 0, and then the construction switch went from 0 to 8, remember? And after 8, we stop. Okay, so we're going to have to make sure and stop here. And our S curve can be lookup, but let's use the lookup NA, and it's going to have the same things. If we want to test it, that's fine, but the lookup value is this one, and then we go to the test, I call it the test array, I guess, and that's this one, and then we have the result array. And see, I'm really not sure if this will work. Uh-oh, it didn't. Oh shit. Okay, I think I couldn't get this to work with the whole line. I have to just do a little bit of work on that. So unfortunately, I'll have to. Oh, come on! What happened here? I'm about to give up. Look up. Sorry, and then we'll use the if. We'll do it better anyway. So let's just look up this value and click on the entire line here. Come on. Why didn't that work? Okay, well, it said it worked, and for some reason the stupid thing went off. And let's just only do this. Now, it doesn't work with multiplying, so we have to only do it during the construction period. And look at this. Suddenly my thing went off. I hate this. Construction switch, comma. Okay, and Shift Control R. I hope I'm going to be finished soon because, and of course, oh well. Shift Control P. If you don't like that false, you can multiply the whole thing by 1. But then we have our, so we have our, oh, this is okay because that's our testing period. So I was a little bit afraid. And then our total expenditures are simply the S curve times this one, and then we have Shift Control R. Okay, come on, I'm going slowly, excuse me for that. And, oh, maybe I just didn't. Okay, I don't know about this manual shit. Okay, and then we have our construction expenditures, and now let's put our operating costs. And I know it's very boring. You can of course turn all this off, but let's put our inflation, annual inflation, and then inflation, periodic inflation, and then inflation index. And then we'll put O and M per KW per year. USD per KW. Okay. So this is oops. And then we can have our total O&M cost, which is just the USD thousands. Okay, something's happened that switched it off. It seemed to be when I had that shit macro. Okay, and then let's put the revenues. And we haven't put these in, but we'll put the base price index and nominal price, and then we can put revenues. How about we'll re-put up here the generation and energy. Okay. Total revenues. Okay. Okay, so finally, so let's put equal lookup. Okay, and I'm going to allow the NA this time. I'm upset by my macro that didn't really work so well. And we put this one in. Okay, so, and then the periodic inflation will be this plus this one raised to the 1 divided by -1, and then we put 1, and we put equal this times this plus this one. How about we put if it's the operating period. Oh, look, did I get Did I get that back? I don't think so. If that one, then we take the this one. Okay, otherwise we put 0. I hope I did this right. Shift Control P, Shift Control 1. Okay. And then the O&M cost per year we got from the 15. It didn't work, did it? So our total, this is going to be F4 multiplied by our index, and we can just multiply this one by the capacity. And the good news is we don't have to put it by a switch because we already you know, have it going to 0. Okay, we don't have to do multiple switches. Shift Control R, and let's just put the calculations back because let's make sure everything was working okay. And we're just about finished. Okay. So this is good news. It's not great news. I thought this was supposed to. This started in the final year of construction. Not the period. This was the end of construction. I think that was a problem with our commercial operation. Let's start this one with the commercial operation. Okay, and then finally, okay, I think we're okay now. Whoops, so we have NAs here, and then whoops, oh shit, okay. I hope okay, and Shift Control P, and Shift Control 1. How's that? So that's our O&M costs. That goes up and eventually stops. We should put another thing. Okay, this is a continuation of the operating analysis. Let's press Shift Control 1. So let's put some underlines on the key things. Okay. Shift Control 1 and this one. Okay, so we have capital expenditures, our testing period, our revenues, our operating expenses, and now let's get our revenues. Now we didn't put some assumptions in for this. These are revenues, and let's add some. Okay. Okay, so let's put the base revenues in, and let's put this in USD per megawatt hour. Now I'm going to be really aggressive and say we'll try 50, and let's put an index. Well, put that as a percent. Okay, and make that 1.3%. And once we have this, we'll just start this. Okay, so this is USD per megawatt hour. This is a percent. Okay, and no, this is an index rather. Maybe we can do that all in one go, and then this is USD per megawatt hour, and then we put our megawatt hours here, and we get our USD thousands. Okay, maybe I'm not sure if you think it was necessary to do all of these things, but um, I wonder what happened to my Excel here. I'll have to start it again at some point. So let's just put this in. Oops. I can't seem to find the F4 command anymore. And then let's take this one plus this one. No. Equal 1. This. No. Excuse me. This, I can't do an index times 1 plus. And then let's put 1 plus this index, press F4, raised to the 1 divided by remember the 12th power. Okay, and minus 1. I think I probably have to put this. Okay, shift control 1. But we don't want to do this whole multiplication business unless we're in the operating period. So that's when we're going to begin our indexing. And where's the operating life switch? And then we press Shift Control R, so we have nothing. Let's just press the calculate again. I've got a whole bunch of things open because I'm working on a different project as well. Sorry about that one just now. Okay. I assume that we have some inflation. Oh, how about that? Okay. We can. Okay. So it started escalating here the way it was supposed to be. Multiply this, of course. Shift Control R, Shift Control 1, and then we can get our generation from up here. Generation after degradation, and we take this, multiply it by the generation, and then we have to divide it by 1,000 because we put it in thousands. Okay, so that's. I hope you agree with me that the units are important here. And then, of course, I did something wrong. Well, I didn't press the calculate button, but okay, so that's what we have. And it is something wrong here because the maybe it's just this 15 per kilowatt. Oh, see, see, this is and what I have to do. Of course I made this mistake on purpose, you know. Okay. Okay. You know, okay, because of course this was a monthly, and here's our monthly revenues, and we'll put this in, and then you know the very first thing to do is then to compute the pre-tax cash flow. Pre-tax, how about we'll put it pre-tax working capital cash flow, okay, which is, let's just make sure we have a reasonable amount. So we take this revenue minus this O&M cost minus the expenditures. Now, you know, and then we can put the pre-tax IRR, and this is USD thousands. And this is a percent. And let's put this as IRR, not XIR. Let's click on this whole line. You know, and did I? Of course, I was an idiot, and I didn't put the development expenditures in. Okay, so, oops. When we do this, let's see what we get. This is the monthly, so we can take this one plus this one raised to the 12th power minus 1. So this is not so good. I can't really do this at 4%. And let's put the how about let's put the other costs in here. Okay, and we remember we have the development cost. So let's put the development cost here. Maybe we'll do this one at a time. Okay, and let's get this one from here. And let's put the development months in here so we know how to do this. And I don't know if I put a development, so months of development here. So we take this one, F4, divided by this one, F4, but we multiply this by the development switch. Okay, Shift Control 1, Shift Control R. So that's our development cost. And then let's also get the development fee, which I'm not even going to put in for right now. That's financial game playing. Let's put the owner's cost, though, and let's assume the owner's costs occur on a level basis over the construction period. Okay, so, you know, this is not documented very well, is it? You can do that with me. Okay, and I think that is very important to come up with good documentation. But we'll do the same thing. Take this one divided by this one multiplied by this time the construction period switch. Okay, Shift Control 1, Shift Control R, and then how about we'll put total out of total construction expenditures. Okay. Excuse me for that. So this is this. Actually, let's practice this. If you just go down to here and press alternate equal. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Okay, I've got to stop for just a minute. Where's well, let me finish this. Ah, shoot. See, I got all okay. And now I hope that of course I just had to uh-oh. What did just happen? Okay, so I'm gonna stop this for a minute. Okay, I just summed these. Excuse me for the interruption again. And then we get a I have 3.83%. I mean, I suppose it is possible that you could get extremely low financing and get this kind of thing, but let's and I think I'm going to come back with a second video and fix that, but let's just change it to 60. Okay, Shift Control C, by the way, and remember this was if we want to show where we got those things, we can press this one. Okay, come on, hurry up. Oh, that wasn't that bad, was it? I just fixed that, by the way, so let me know if that has any problems, okay? And now let's, why don't we put some working capital in, and then we'll, okay, let's just put, to have an example of this. We'll put, how about we'll put days of working capital. Okay. Okay, and we'll just put some kind of very simple assumptions in. Sometimes the working capital can be kind of big in a project because you have to first meter the project and then you have to wait. So while the meter is going, let's say for a month, you don't get paid, and then you give the meter to the off taker, and then you have to wait another month for that. So let's put accounts receivable days. Why don't we put something? Let's say it's 50 days or something. And 45 on average, because you know this is, and then accounts payable days. And that's how long it takes us to pay our employees. And let's put that as, I don't know, 18 days typically. Okay, maybe it's sometime in the middle of the month, you know, and all that stuff. Okay, so to do this, we have to put accounts receivable. Just a minute. Let me think about this for just a second. You know, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop this video now because if you have, I stopped it. If you have working capital for a month and a half, or if I wanted to change this to 55 or even 75, the question is how could you make a model really flexible so it could take the revenues you have here and look forward for this month and then part of next month and then a part of next month. Or maybe it's just half of this month or a part of this month. We can't do it with the offset command. We have to be really flexible and look ahead. It would be a very, very long formula, so I think I'm going to make a function for this. Again, you might think, oh, this idiot's addicted to these user-defined Excel functions, but I think that's the kind of solution. So I'm going to save this one for now, and it's called. Let's call this solar pre-tax cash flow, and then in the next video we'll go through the